The spring fling had to wait a day for a number of sports, but that was no big deal. It just meant more baseball and softball today. We had a number of storylines heading into today, including Whitwell making their state tournament debut and who would come out on top between CCS and Baylor in softball. Samantha Caseno was on site and has more from the borough.
Being here at Spring Fling is history for Whitwell. The baseball team is making their first ever state tournament appearance. Unfortunately, that may have led to some tense ABs at the plate. Ultimately, the Tigers fall 6-1 to Mackenzie in their opening game of this tournament. The first of what will hopefully be many trips to the borough for Whitwell. It was a pitching duel early between the Tigers and the Rebels. Braden Riley looking sharp for the good guys. His counterpart Tate Serber equally locked in. Let's pick things up in the top of the sixth. Whitwell trailing 2-0. Leland Gordon hits a ground ball to third, but the throw home is too strong. Mackenzie adds to their lead. So just 6 outs for the Tigers to work with, and thankfully they get something cooking in the sixth. Jacob McCurry's sac fly to center field cuts Mackenzie's lead to 2. But the pesky Rebels get those runs right back in the top of the seventh. Serber at the dish, he slashes a ball to left. Enough to bring in 1 run. Mackenzie scores another pair to make it a 6-1 game. Garrett Miller leads off the bottom frame for the Tigers, fighting off pitch after pitch. The senior gets rewarded with a blooper into shallow left center. Unfortunately, Whitwell can't make anything of it. The Tigers' comeback falls short. Whitwell falls 6-1 to the Rebs.
They were competitive, but we're just being too picky. And, we've got to extend the strike zone a little bit and be more aggressive and hit the pitches we want to hit instead of hitting the pitches that they want us to hit. So.
Whitwell will have to win out to keep their season alive. That next opportunity comes Thursday at 11 a.m. But earlier in the day, we were treated to a familiar matchup in softball, Baylor versus Chattanooga Christian. The result, an incredible game between two incredible teams. A 2023 and 2024 D2 AA title game rematch between the Lady Red Raiders and Lady Chargers. Chattanooga Christian up 1-0, but the Baylor offense wakes up in the top of the fifth. Ellison DiMatteo, the 8th grader, puts the Lady Red Raiders in front with a 2-run single that drops into right field. Later in the inning, Addison Wallington shoots a ball up the middle. It's a 6th spot when all is said and done. The Lady Chargers not backing down, though. They have an immediate response in the bottom half. Millie Fox hits it where they ain't. CCS cuts the deficit to 6-5 before the inning is over. The Lady Red Raiders clinging to that 1-run lead in the 6th. Ella Claire Chafin has something to say about that. Bloops a ball that falls into shallow left field. Chattanooga Christian regains the lead. It's 8-6. And Kylie Black shuts the door in the top of the 7th. An improbable comeback against the 9-time defending state champs. The Lady Chargers make a statement with a come-from-behind 8-6 win over Baylor.
This is the goal. We're back in it for the 3rd straight year, this time in the winter side, so we have to be beat twice. We're going to come out. We don't want to go to that if game. We're going to come out and try to win it the first game in the morning.
So the dynasty officially comes to an end for Baylor. For the first time in a decade, there will be a new top dog in D2 AA. We'll find out if the Lady Chargers can be that top dog on Thursday. Chattanooga Christian just 1 win away from their first state championship in program history. For now at Wilson Central High School in Lebanon, Samantha Casano, Local 3 Sports.
What a run for the Baylor softball team. 9 in a row is such a remarkable accomplishment. But we'd love to see CCS get it done tomorrow. And there were some more softball teams in action today, like the feisty Phillies of Walker Valley, Lady Mustangs and Page in the 4A bracket. Walker Valley wanted to be aggressive. They certainly were. Carly Blackwell, safe at home. Tell you what, they were living up to the feisty Phillies name today. How about a double steal? Safe at second, safe at home. Walker Valley extends their lead. Some concern about this team and their hitting. What concern? Autumn Lanclose taking it to right. Autumn in the spring, the right combo. Throw to third. Page just couldn't handle the ball. Walker Valley took full advantage as Madison Thomas comes home to score. How about Blackwell again, this time with the bat in her hands. That puppy's in the gap. In comes another run, another gem from Ryan Bresswood. And Walker Valley's moving on to the winner's bracket with an 8-1 Spring Fling opening win over Page.
If you make it to the state tournament, you're a tough team. You got to take you can't take anything for granted. We need to keep our foot on the gas regardless of who we play next, and just keep playing our game. And if we do that, we'll be successful.
And she wasn't lying, because the winning didn't stop there for the feisty Phillies, as they would win again this afternoon 6-3 over Rossview. This means they only have to win one more game to advance to the state championship, and they'll have at least 2 chances to do it if they need it. They'll play the winner of Page and Rossview, the 2 teams they beat tomorrow at noon Eastern. Now, how about some love for the 2-time defending state champion Silverdale Lady Seahawks, who have 3-peat on their minds. DCA did not care this morning. The Lady Wildcats pouncing all over Silverdale with an early 3-0 lead. Then things got out of hand in the back half of the game when the Lady Hawks weren't scoring, and DCA kept scoring. The Lady Wildcats posted a 10-0 win in 6 innings over Silverdale, putting the 2-time defending state champions on the brink. And to borrow a line from the newly minted state champs Gordon Lee, the Lady Seahawks didn't flinch. They came back strong with an 8-0 victory over CAK following their loss, and then came back to beat USJ. Down 4-1 heading to the 6th. Silverdale played 5 runs at the top of the 6th, won 6-4. They'll take on DCA in the D2 Single A title game tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern. The Lady Seahawks will have to beat them twice in order to 3-peat, though. And how about a little soccer? Boyd Buchanan looking to punch their ticket to the state title game for a 3rd straight year. But they go down 1-0 in overtime. Heartbreaker for the Bucks. Quite the opposite for McCauley, who dominates previously undefeated Ensworth 5-1 in the D2 AA semis. The Blue Tornado have a chance to go back-to-back on Thursday when they take on MBA at 5 at MTSU. That's